to my channel. It's your brother Chief Lamashawiyepa Sewulana, also known as Prince Ayoko, sending my peaceful, warmly and lovely greetings to you all wherever you are. How are you doing? How is our families at your side doing? And how is everyone doing? Okay, family, we are back again, and talking about that, I'm talking about me coming back to you again to teach you more about what you want to know. And teaching you about this, there's a whole bunch of questions that you've thrown on my table for me to answer. And as a matter of fact, I'm a very responsible man. I'm a very, very responsible man working on so many responsibilities, like so many responsibilities. But above all, I see you to be important in my life. I see you to be important in my life because you learn from what I share. You always learn from what I share. So, in other words, what I just have to let you know is that I appreciate you all for whatever you learn from me and the time that you really take to learn from what I share with you. Okay, so a lot of people has asked me questions about my livestock farming. A lot of people has also asked me questions about, building in Ghana, that is building projects. There are some people here in Ghana who are living outside the country. There are some of them who are in the US, there are some of them who are in Europe, there are some of them who are in Asia, there are some of them who are in Australia. A lot of people from different parts of the world is contacting me to learn more about building projects as well as livestock farming. Each and every day, there are people who contact me all the time. But I find it so important for me to share this with you. And sharing this with you really means that I care for you. I really care for all of you. But before I continue with this video, when you are watching me, wherever you are, I'm sending my peaceful and lovely greetings to you once again, wherever you are, as well as our families at your side. I'm sending my peaceful and warmly greetings to each and every one of you who are watching me right now. The weather is warm. The weather is warm here. It's very, very warm, so we are sweating. You see how the Almighty God does his things. Sometimes some people will be feeling cold, and sometimes some people will be feeling warm. You see, that is the nature of creation. That is the nature of God. Our weather conditions is not the same. So that's one thing that everybody has to know. So when I'm sweating, it's just normal to me because that's the weather. That's the weather condition here. So sorry for that. I wouldn't even say sorry, but that's just nature. Okay, so let's get into business, family and friends who are watching me right now. I just want to go ahead and answer your questions and then go to sleep because it's already too late here. So first of all, a lot of people has asked me about livestock farming and poultry farming. I'm not into poultry farming, but I have more ideas about poultry farming. I know how to construct, a coop. A coop is a particular place where we keep our fowls, that's our poultry. And I also have a lot of idea about how to construct a ranch. A ranch is a place that can house animals, different kind of animals. That's a ranch. And I also have ideas about how to construct a flock. That is a flock of either a flock of goats or a flock of sheep. All of these ideas, I have them because growing up as a child, I have been into welding, welding and fabrication, and that involves craftsmanship. It involves craftsmanship. With craftsmanship, everything that has to deal with it has to do with measurements and the plans. So sometimes, even when you know measurements and you don't know the plans, you might end up, failing in what you're planning to do. So some people has asked me about how to feed animals, how to mix animals feed, how to construct a system, that's an underground water tank, and about how to utilize a space. That is when you have some small space of land or when you have a piece of land, how you can utilize it to be able to accommodate more people when you build your project. That is either you or your family. All right, so this is your answers. First of all, livestock farming consists of different methods. Livestock farming and crop farming, it goes hand in hand, but usually the crop farming helps the livestock farming much more than the way the livestock farming helps the crop farming. The reason is that I'm starting with your answers about feeding animals. The reason is that when you are a crop farmer and then you plant your crops, you harvest your crops, the waste of the crops, let's say for instance, here we have beans, we have sorghum, we have wheat, and then we have cowpea, we have corn, and then a variety of crops. So most of these crops, our animals feed, the leaves of most of these crops, our animals, feed on the plant, on the leaves. That is after harvest. After harvest, whatever comes out from the waste is used to feed animals. So let's say sorghum, rice straw. You see, when I was mentioning the crops that we farm here, I didn't mention rice, but everything is in the head. So even when I'm talking about it, it comes out. I don't forget it because that's my business. I'm a livestock farmer. I used to be a crop farmer before, but I'm very much focused on livestock farming. The reason is that as time goes on, I'll get involved into all of that. But I really involved in livestock farming because livestock farming is one of the businesses that can grow Africa. Crop farming is very, very important because you can't eat food without meat. You see the point? You can't eat food without meat, and you can't eat meat without food. Meat itself is food. You can just eat meat and then you'll be satisfied. But then sometimes when you want to have a good taste of what you are eating, it's either rice and beef, rice and chicken, rice and turkey, or rice and any kind of meat that is any kind of product that is being produced from meat. See what I'm saying? So what I'm going to tell you about the feed is that when you are a livestock farmer and you're not a crop farmer, what you have to do is that at the particular place that you have your farms, maybe there might be someone who has a peanut farms. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying, when I'm teaching people about, farming, everything comes out from the head. I did not mention peanuts, but I just mentioned it. So you see, when you are a livestock farmer and you have a neighbor who is a peanut farmer, when the peanut farmer harvests their peanuts, here we call it granules, but some parts of the world they call it peanuts. When you have a neighboring, or I mean a neighboring community, or a neighbor, or any kind of crop farmer who farms peanuts, rice, corn, guinea corn, that one we call it sorghum, wheat, or whatever it is, the waste, and soya beans, as well as cowpeat. So the waste of all of these crops, animals love the waste as their feed, that's their food. So what you have to do is that when they are harvesting, if you want to have a good relationship with the farmer, what you do is that you go to the farmer and then let them know that when they harvest their plants, or when they harvest their crops, you want the waste. That is booking. It means you've booked it. So, but sometimes they sell some of those waste. That's one good thing about agriculture. Sometimes the waste doesn't go useless. You harvest your crops, you get your food, and then you sell the waste. So when you make a booking, either you are getting the feed for free or you are buying it. That one is up to you and the farmer. It is an agreement. It is an agreement between you, the livestock farmer, and the crop farmer. So when you have this agreement with the crop farmer as a livestock farmer, when you have this agreement with the crop farmer, what you have to do is that whatever way it can take you to pay the crop farmer to get the waste, pay the crop farmer for that. When you are getting it for free, it's two things. Whatever means you have to use to take the waste to your home and then keep it at a very safe place, so that during the rainy season, or whatever time, you can use that to do what? Feed your animals. You understand? That is your livestock. So when you do that, there is no way that you lose. That is, an investment, process that I'm showing you right now, like a joke. When you take this, you're gonna benefit a lot from it. This is an investment tip that I'm just sharing with you for free like that. So let's say rice straw, the waste of corn, the waste of sorghum, as well as the waste of peanuts, soya bean, and you see that is 5 crops. The rest of the crops, I wouldn't be able to mention them right now because I'm a walking encyclopedia. I share as I go. You understand? Everything that I do, I share it as I go. I have been into livestock farming for a very long time. For a very, very long time. Talking about crop farming, at least I had my own farm for over 20 years ago, because I had my own farm in the year 2000. That was when I had my own farm. It was a peanut and a corn farm. See what I'm saying? That is crop farming. I had my own farm over 20 years ago. So just look at my age. I'll be 40 next year. So it means that I was 20 years when I got into farming. See what I'm saying? I'll be 40 years in March. In May. In May this year. On the 11th of May, I'll be 20 years. And that's why I love Bob Marley. I want to take you into different things else. That's about reggae. But you know what? That's not what I'm talking about right now. So let's come back to business. When you are a crop farmer and someone is a livestock farmer, both of you is into agriculture. Both the crop farmer and the livestock farmer is into agriculture. But what you have to do is that you have to work hand in hand. The crop farmer and the livestock farmer is like the left hand and then the right hand. The right hand and the left hand. Both of you work as partners. The crop farmer needs something from the livestock farmer, which is the feces, which is the waste. the organic waste from the livestock farmer. You know, that is organic fertilizer, that is organic manure. So the crop farmer needs an organic manure from the livestock farmer, and then the livestock farmer also needs the waste after harvest from the crop farmer. So you see how it works. Both people work hand in hand. So when you are a crop farmer and you are not lazy, this is what you have to know about farming. This is a very indigenous farming system that I'm just sharing with you for free like that. So in this situation, what you have to do is that both of you have to work hand in hand with understanding. As a livestock farmer, don't walk into somebody farms, a crop farmer's farm, just to pick up his waste without informing him. When you do that, it means you did not respect the person. But in the natural way of living here in Africa, what we do is that we respect each other very much. Say that when you are a crop farmer and I'm a livestock farmer and I'm coming into your farms to pick up your waste, either it is rice straw, either it is waste from corn after your harvest, either it is waste from peanuts or whatever it is, I have to contact you first, talk to you, greet you before I come into your farms to collect whatever I need to feed my livestock. So whenever you are also coming back to my livestock farms to pick up my animals' waste, that is their feces, that is their, the natural organic manure that you can use to, fertilize your crops organic, like in a kind of organic. You have to come to me. I'll give you the go ahead. I will not sell it to you. Then you also take it and then go and apply it to the soil at your farms to be able to get natural organic manure. Do I make sense? Family, blessed love to you all. Let me come to the chat. I have a couple of families here. Okay, so Maya Kamwi, blessed love to you. You said hello, blessed love to you, my sister. Catherine with friends, blessed love to you, Miss Catherine. That's one of my soil families. I'm teaching more about, agriculture. Sister Synovia, really blessed love to you. Sister Doreen Wakalit, blessed love to you, my lovely sister. Sister, love to travel with Wave. I really miss you, my sister. I miss you so much, my sister. Blessed love to you. Blessed love to Brother Eddie. Blessed love to each and every one of you. For you, you've known me in person and you know who I am. So, what I'm talking about right now, I'm gonna teach you a little bit. I'm a kind of person. I really have time for everything that I do. I have time for everything. So, to people who are learning these informations from me, each and every one of you has to be thankful for what you're learning from me. If only you know how busy I am with my responsibilities, especially when I become a chief. I swear you really appreciate me for whatever time I used to have to share all of these informations with you. But it is said that sharing means caring. There's a say that goes like, sharing means caring. When you don't care, you will not share. You only use your knowledge and your talent to yourself. But then, who do you share your knowledge and your talent with? That's the question. That's the biggest question. So that is about building. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Mapul S said, I didn't know that people sell cows waste. Not only cows waste. People sell cows waste, people sells goat waste, and people sell sheep waste. People sell livestock waste as in general. It depends on how you gather it. Sometimes there are some farms when they gather their waste, I mean the waste from their animals, it can be able to be so much, say that it can be spread on like 20 acres, 30 acres, 40 acres, 15 acres, 100 acres and above. It depends. Even poultry waste, sometimes people sell it, but it depends on the relationship that you, the crop farmer, have with the livestock farmer or the poultry farmer. See what I'm saying? It depends on your relationship and how you respect the owner of the farm, of those farms. When you are able to get all of this information, just like I'm sharing, you see, sometimes there's one thing that we miss as humans. There's one thing that we miss as humans, and that makes us to lose the respect for each other all the time. And the thing is that when you want something from me, respect me, just give me the due respect. Maybe you might not even pay for it. I'm talking this to you with the African perspective, like with the way that we think here. Even way back there in the Caribbean, in the US, in North America, in Europe, in everywhere, wherever black people live, or wherever farmers lives, not black people as in general, but just farmers. Wherever they live, they have some kind of respect for each other. But then it depends on how you approach the person. It depends on how you approach the person that will be able to make the person sell the thing to you. Now, that one is okay. So, with all of these products that I've mentioned, you can use that to feed your animals and you have good yield from your livestock farms. So, that is your question that I've just answered like a joke for you in some few minutes. Okay, so now your second question is, there are some people, they always contact me to know how do they use the waste of rice after it is processed to feed their animals. It is two options. The first option is the straw. After they harvest the rice from the farms, the leaves, which we call the straw, is used to feed animals. But the rice itself, when it is processed at the grinding mill, we have two types of waste that comes out from the processing of the rice. The first one goes outside the mill, and then the second one goes under the mill. It is very smooth. That is the skin of the rice. That's the skin of the rice. So the smoothest one is what you mix into corn chaff or maize chaff. You mix it together and then you use it to feed your animals. It can be used to feed goat, sheep, cattle, donkeys, horses, any kind of animals that has four legs, even including um, fowls, poultry. They eat it. Poultry eat it. You see what I'm saying? This is a very important information that I'm sharing with you for free like that. And then secondly, you see corn. When you plant corn and it starts to grow, as soon as it starts to produce the corn, you can cut them off. When you have a machine that can grind the leaves and everything together, the leaves, the stem, I'm talking about the stick and the leaves together, you can grind them, you know, pack them, like just compact them like hay, keep them, and it will be very good for your animals. You can use them for several years. It depends on how you keep them, The only thing is, don't let them get wet. Don't let them get wet by the rains or any kind of water. So that's another thing. So let's put that aside. I'm just going to touch bases with your questions. The next question is, there are some people when they try to buy animals from me, they will ask me for my contact information. I'll share that with them. They will ask me for my, whatever way they can do to get their animal and to buy them, they will ask me. But what I tell them is that I'm here in Tamale, the northern part of Ghana, and maybe you are my brother living in the US, in Europe, in any part of the world, like in Europe, in Asia, in any part of the world. When you want to buy animal from me, as long as I share my contact information with you, trust me, even your PIN, something like a PIN that belongs to you, would never remain from me. I will deliver whatever you buy to you. So what I'm gonna appeal to my brothers and sisters is that when you want to do business with me, the way you trust yourself, that's how I also trust myself. I don't need anything from you. Sometimes with this business that I do, at the end of the day, when the business is not all that big, I end up even putting my own money into the business just to make sure that your animal is delivered to you safely and peacefully. That's why I always deliver my animals to my clients, by using the bus. I don't use cargo trucks to deliver my animals. I use the bus because I know that in a very few hours the animal will get to you peacefully. You will receive the animal. You'll be okay. I'll be okay, and then we can continue to do business. But when you want to do business with me and you don't trust in what I'm doing, then you better keep your money, because I don't do business that is like in a kind of darkness. I don't do that kind of business. I don't do business that is in the darkness. Yeah, I don't do that. Like, for instance, right now, I don't have sheep, but there's no any amount of sheep that you need from me that I cannot get for you. The reason is that I have time for sheep business, and I just got into cattle business. I sold cattle to a brother in the US. I sold cattle to a brother from here in Tamale who has been living in the US for like 40 years. Yes, he's an old man, a very wise old man. The brother bought the cattle from me. He's one of my subscribers on YouTube, my family on YouTube. He got to know me on YouTube. He bought the two cattle from me. He paid me even without seeing the cattle. He only saw them on video and then on pictures. I was very, very busy. Like, I was super busy. And he kept calling me and calling me and calling me. Do you know the time that I delivered the animals to him? I delivered the animals to him in the night. It was around 8 o'clock p.m. down to like 10 o'clock, 10:30 before I came back home. That's how I do my business. Meanwhile, I have to abandon a whole lot of things that I do before I go and do all of these things to the brother. Meanwhile, the profit that I got from the two cattle was just small. But for the fact that I wanted to build, relationship with the brother with regards to business, and for the fact that I still to be who I am, I don't want to be doing things that is, beyond my control. So sometimes when you want to do business with me, if only you say you don't know me, first of all, I'll tell you to come here directly to see who I am, to know me, so we can do business. But if you don't have time for that and you still want to do business with me, the way you trust yourself, that's the same way I trust myself. That's why I said I don't need anything from none of you. except when we are doing business. That's what I think about. You see, doing business is about how you maintain your business. It's about how you build your business, the trust that you build with your clients. That's what makes your business to be successful. You see, all the cattle that I showed to you on my channel, sometimes when I share with you about my cattle or about my animals, if some of the animals doesn't belong to me, I don't really tell you that this animal or that animal or all of that animal belongs to me. I don't do that, because when I share with you some animal that doesn't belong to me, and you said you want the animal based on the videos that I share, I might end up being a liar, which I don't like. I'm a very, very highly respected person. I'm a chief. I'm not just an ordinary person. I'm a chief. Quite apart from that, personally, I'm a man with pride, and I know what I'm doing. So whatever I do, I make sure that I do it in the right way. When you go to some of my videos, you will see and then you will understand what I'm saying. You will see me delivering animals from the bus, at the bus station, to people from southern sector, from Accra, people who are living in Accra. That's how I do my business. Even those people, they are not here in Ghana. They are in other parts of the world. Some are in the US, some are in Belgium, some are they are just all over the world contacting me to do these things for them. So if only you know the importance of what I'm doing, people will really appreciate what I'm doing. One thing again about business is that when you are building up your business, build it with truth. Don't build it with lies. When you build your business with lies, it will not take any long. It will collapse. That's one thing about business. When you are building your business and you do not build it with truth, when you build it with lies, your business will not prosper. It will collapse. And then the other questions that people has been asking me is about the health of the animal and the housing. First of all, when you are having plans to get into livestock farming, make sure that you have the feed available. Make sure that you have the food of the livestock available before you purchase them, before you buy them to your farms. But when you bring your livestock without having the food that can feed them and water, you end up losing. It's just like we humans. You cannot wake up from morning till evening without eating. Animals are just like we humans. The only difference is that they cannot talk. They breathe, they eat, they get sick, they lose appetite, and all like and so on and so forth. All of this, as a livestock farmer, you have to know this. As a beginner or someone who is already into the business, you have to know all of this. Okay, now let me put that aside, because that's the majority of the questions that people has been asking me. Now I'm gonna take you into building. A lot of people has been asking me to get the plans for this particular place that I'm sitting right now. That is Queen's Guest Palace, one of the most beautiful guest palace in Tamale, which is still building and soon will be completed. Now the whole thing is that I never had any plan written on a book for this project. Everything that you see here comes out from my head. It comes out from me. No one planned this particular place for me but me. You see where I'm sitting right now, when it is raining right now, there's never a day that I'll pay for water. Because you know what? I'm sitting on top of a system. Yes, that is the master planner. I'm sitting on top of a system. I'm sitting on top of an underground water tank. I'm sitting on top of water. In short, there is never a day that I'll buy water or pay for water bill when it is raining, because rainwater is very clean. It depends on how you store it, and it depends on the ideas that you have that you use to plan it. Like when I shared the video tonight about the compound to Queen's Guest House, people were surprised. That is how I do my things. So I can use from now till the next morning to plan something that can live on earth for the rest of our lives. That is a natural gift that the Almighty Creator has given me. And talking about building, you see, in building we have masons, we have carpenters, we have plumbers, we have painters, we have electricians, we have welders. There's all kind of people in building. There's all kind of craftsmen in building. But one thing about building is that you, the builder, when you already have an idea about craftsmanship, is very, very helpful. When you have that ideas, it's very, very, very helpful. So that's what I use here. I know measurements, I know what I want, I know what is done. I know what can be done. I know whatever it is that you know a person can take to build. Quite apart from the finances, no one has funded this project. Absolutely no one but me. And up to date, thank God, it's still going on. No problem, no complaints. No complaints. And it keeps going and going. The reason is that being focused on what you are doing is what makes you have the good results of what you can achieve in life. So to those of you who has been asking me about everything with the plans and everything, I wish I can write down the plans for you. But the whole problem is that I'm not good in drawing. You see, drawing a plan on a paper, I'm not good in that. I'm good in using my head. Just look at it. You see, when there's a space or when there's a land, I can just look at the land and I can see what I can do on the land. How to utilize land, I'm very good on that. Very, very good on that. So that's one thing again that some people don't know about me. That's why I said I'm a walking encyclopedia. The more I go, the more the ideas come. It's naturally gifted. it's naturally gifted. These talents that I have is naturally gifted. All right, so Sister CJ Williams, blessed love to you, my sister. You said, um, great evening, Prince Ayuko and your YouTube family. Just started watching. It is so great to be listening. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome, my lovely sister. Blessed love to you and our families in the Caribbean. Blessed love to you, Sister CJ Williams. Sister love to travel with Wave. You send a shout out to our sister CJ Williams. And then CJ Williams also said, hi, love to travel with Wave. I'm doing very well. Thanks and have you said, you mean to say, how are you doing? Okay, so you see, we are connecting families together right now. All right, so that's what I mean with regards to the building of this house. There's a whole lot of things that you are even yet to see about this house. The whole thing is that I was being taught by somebody. You see, I was being taught by my master. Here, when we call somebody a master, like somebody who teaches at school, that's a teacher, or somebody who teaches in a workshop, that is, the craftsman. These are the people that we call masters here, like a welding master, a plumbing master, a mason, all of these craftsmen, that's how we call them, masters. That is the simple English term that we used to call them. But then, to people who still wants to know about the plans to these projects, when I'm gonna tell you that I have the plan, I'll end up lying to you all. And with all the animals that you see on my channel, I'm coming back to the animals. I just want to let you know that there are some of them that belongs to me, and I also have some business partners with the animal business. And there are some of them who that doesn't belong to me at all. So I don't show animals on my channel just for you to see that this is what I have. I'm using that as an education. I don't use that to prove what I have, but I also use that at the same times to build up my business. Because if you are having interest, or when you develop interest in livestock farming, and I show you my animals, that can easily make you to understand what I'm doing, and then you'll be able to try to contact me to get the animals that you want to buy from me. So family, what I'm going to tell you is that in life, when you are building up a business, build it with truth. Above all, that's just what I'm going to tell you after answering your questions within some short minutes. There's a lot of questions that I'm still yet to answer, but I'll get time for all of that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your prayers. And above all, thank you so much for your motivations and inspirations. I really love you all, family. The love that the love that I have for you all comes deep from my heart. It comes very, very deep from my heart. I really love you all. And I appreciate whatever way you also do to support this channel. And I also appreciate you and pray for you that whatever you do in life will be productive to you, your family, your friends, your community, your neighborhood, and above all, humanity at large. I respect you and I love you all. Stay blessed, stay focused. May the Almighty God and the ancestors continue to keep uniting us, continue to keep blessing us, continue to keep protecting us, continue to keep us, being one people, and continue to give us the love for each other. Each and everything that you pray to have. Okay, so Maya said, how will you deliver livestock to me in Liberia? I can't do that. I don't have any access to that. So you see how I do my business. Maya, I can't lie to you. I wish I can do that, but as a matter of fact, if you come here and buy and know how to get your livestock to Nigeria, that will be fine. Liberia, that will be fine, but I don't have access to that. I can't do that. That's what I tell people. What I can do, I do. What I cannot do, I don't force myself. But I'm so glad that you're also a livestock farmer. So when you want to come here to get animals, as long as you know that you can get them to Liberia, I can assist you to get the right animals that you want. You can rasayoko@gmail.com. RAS as in Ras, AYOKO as in Ayoko at gmail.com, rasayoko at gmail.com. So whenever you want to come and get your animals, just contact me. You said I'm planning on retiring back home, and livestock farming is what I'm thinking on doing. It's a very good business. You see, this is one thing about livestock. Livestock farming is even much profitable than crop farming. The reason is that, there's a lot of people they don't want to eat food without meat. There's a lot of people, about 80% or 75% of the population in the world, when they are always eating food, they want to have meat or fish on top of the food. See what I'm saying? Like they just want to have some kind of, something that is chewable, or something that can be beaten, like something that they can bite to have some taste, and that is meat. I'm just making fun, but serious. There's a lot of people when they are eating, they want to have meat on their food. So that is what makes livestock farming very profitable. So when I mean when a person has livestock, the person is just like someone who has gold, but the livestock farmer is much richer than the gold, that like a person who has gold. When you are a livestock farmer, you are richer. Like your riches is much more than a person who has a goat. Sorry, who has gold. The reason is that when you are wearing gold and then being hungry, you can never enjoy wearing the gold. You can only be satisfied whilst you get time to wear the gold. This is from wisdom. You can only be satisfied whilst you are wearing gold. But when your stomach is empty, you you can never enjoy wearing gold. So livestock farming is very, very important, that everybody has to know. So family, thank you so much for your time and your patience. I love you all. And you know what? Till we meet again, I'm your brother, Chief Lamashawiyepa Sewulana, sending my peaceful and lovely greetings to you all. Stay blessed, stay focused, have a wonderful evening, and enjoy the rest of your night. I love you all. Stay blessed. One love. Peace.